Hello, everyone, and welcome to another online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am the e-recruiter here at UC Merced, and I'm so excited to be here with you and to have you join us for this great special event tonight, where we will be focusing on UC Merced's Asian American community. Just as you can see on your screen, that is our topic for tonight. Before we get started, though, I'd like to give you just a couple quick Zoom reminders. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'd like to adjust the size of your window at any point, maybe zoom in on something that we're sharing with you, go ahead and click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. And lastly, but most importantly, we are here tonight to get to your important questions. So go ahead and click on the Q&A button, send in your questions, and we will get to those throughout the presentation. We're fully staffed behind the scenes with our content experts tonight, and we will also be taking those questions live in a Q&A session towards the end of this wonderful event tonight. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill, the e-recruiter here at UC Merced. At this time, it's my great pleasure to hand things over to my friend Sheila.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Asian American and Pacific Islander webinar. My name is Sheila Zhang, and I am the Assistant Director of Transfer Initiatives for the Office of Admissions at UC Merced. In celebration of Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, which is coming up in the month of May, so just a few days from now, and UC Merced's diverse communities, tonight's webinar will highlight the experiences of our Asian American and Pacific Islander communities, programs, and opportunities at UC Merced. Throughout this webinar, you'll hear about the new initiatives we have happening on campus at UC Merced for our API community, the experiences of our API scholars, and opportunities for you to join our UC Merced community. Before we get started with our program tonight, we're just going to take a moment to pause to acknowledge all local indigenous peoples, including the Yokuts, the Miwok, and who inhabited this land. So we're all just going to take a moment to pause for our land acknowledgement. We embrace their continued connection to this region and thank them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and collaborate on their traditional homeland. So let us now take a moment of silence to pay respect to their elders and to all the Yokuts and Miwok people, past and present. All right, thank you everyone for taking that moment to acknowledge all the indigenous people who inhabited this land. Now let's go ahead and go over the agenda. Tonight's agenda will start off with the welcome, then we'll go over some UC Merced campus highlights, resources and opportunities for Asian American students. We'll have a student panel where you can ask questions from our Asian American students regarding their experience here at UC Merced, and then we'll close off with some remarks. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to my colleague, Dr. Ko Yang, the Director of Equity, Justice, and Inclusive Excellence, to provide a formal welcome and remarks on our Asian American community here at UC Merced.
Thank you for the introduction, Sheila. Hello, future Bobcats. A special welcome to our students, families, and friends. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight as part of our Become a Bobcat webinar. As Sheila mentioned, my name is Dr. Ko Yang. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I also identify as a Hmong American woman, and I am the Director of Equity, Justice, and Inclusive Excellence Learning at UC Merced. It is my delightful honor to be in this collective space with all of you to provide key highlights on the strengths of our university in supporting the success of our Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander students. When we think about supporting our students, especially our AAPI students, we definitely are drawn to our diversity statement, which is a statement that highlights our commitment to excellence here at the university in really driving the forces of ensuring that our students are successful here, and the fact that we are embracing their backgrounds and experiences that significantly shapes the way that we succeed all together. So I'd like to take a moment to share that diversity statement with all of us here today. At UC Merced, we affirm that a diverse campus furthers our mission to create, interpret, and share knowledge and values. The manifold diversity of our community encourages each of us to reflect on the intellectual and cultural orthodoxies, and thus stimulates the creativity at the heart of our academic mission as a research university. We take pride in serving a large population of first-generation college students, including the representation of background on our campus as a Hispanic, minority, and Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander serving institution. As a common goal, we work together to ensure that all members of our academic community reflect the multiplicity of identities in our region. As I mentioned, UC Merced is an ANAPESI. So what this means is on our campus, we have a 20% or more student population who identifies as being Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander. Being an ANAPESI is incredibly special because of the unique experiences and capital our students bring with them as scholars to our institution and our UC Merced community. We're so fortunate that UC Merced resides here in the Central Valley of California, where there exists a very large, prominent Asian American community. Therefore, at UC Merced, we truly believe our students bring with them rich perspectives that truly elevate the classroom learning experience and the collegiate experience as well. When we think about UC Merced, at the heart and the core of who we are, focuses on building community, which is why I'm going to spend just a few minutes highlighting a few of the collective efforts that we embark on to ensure that we are elevating the success of our AAPI students. Here at UC Merced, we call our students scholars. So making sure that our scholars are successful is one of imperative importance. We understand that when we think about being successful in college, there is such a strong connection to developing a sense of belonging to our campus. We develop that sense of belonging through fostering meaningful relationships with our peers, our instructors and faculty, staff, and campus leaders. Our AAPI community established here at UC Merced is one that just continues to grow every single year as we continue to admit more AAPI students. It truly elevates the work that we are doing here as well. A few of my colleagues on this webinar will elevate some of the key things I'm going to highlight for all of you right now, but so much embedded in our culture and the way that we come to know of knowledge and how we choose to exist comes from community building and building relationships, which again equates to that development of sense of belonging. Here at UC Merced, we're so proud to share that we have different AAPI student clubs and organizations that are here to really provide our students opportunities to develop skills that heighten leadership, self-reflection, networking, and career development. Many of our clubs and organizations focuses on activities, service learning projects, community-based events, and initiatives that really drives many of the initiatives here at our campus regarding AAPI efforts. In addition to that, when we think about our homes and what makes us feel safe, we often have many different folds of what that means to us. Here at UC Merced, we understand that having safe spaces for our students to be able to identify as places where they can go and be seen, heard, and valued are significant, which is why here on our campus, we also have dedicated space for our different affinity groups, and specifically for this webinar, our AAPI students as well. So as you will learn more about that later on in this webinar, you'll be able to identify that UC Merced is dedicated to ensuring that this is one of many safe places where students truly feel that they belong on our campus. In addition to that, we have specific departments on our campus that really helps us drive efforts to elevate our students' experiences and its connection to our AAPI students as well. So our Division of Equity, Justice, and Inclusive Excellence and social justice initiatives and identity programs, which you will also hear more about later on, continues to elevate their work to support the success of our scholars, from offering co-sponsorships and student awards to celebrating Cultural Heritage Months. UC Merced is truly invested in helping our AAPI students feel connected to our campus. Many of us here, when we embark on our collegiate experience, we don't just show up as ourselves. We have many folds to our identity, and it's connected to our friends, our families, our communities. There are so many layers that make us who we are. And oftentimes, when I think about the many students, especially our AAPI students that I've worked with during my career in higher education, many of our AAPI students talk about the transitions of responsibilities, transitions of being first generation, or just transition of starting a new chapter of your life, which is why here at UC Merced, we dedicate so much of our time to really understanding who our students are, what their needs are, and how we address that. Because we understand that in order for our students to be successful, they need to feel supported, they need to feel seen, and they need to feel heard, which is why UC Merced is such an incredible space to be in, especially being an AAPI scholar, where you will be in classrooms where you will have several peers that you can identify with. You will see staff and faculty who you will also identify with. And we also come to understand that our connection to our university heightens when we're able to identify folks who resonate with our stories, our backgrounds, the ways that we come to know of the world. So I'm so excited to be in this space with all of you and to affirm that UC Merced is a space that is dedicated to supporting all of our success. And when you have the opportunity to come and join our Bobcat family, we look forward to seeing all of you embark on your own AAPI interests, projects, and efforts, and know that UC Merced is going to provide space and opportunity and support in order for you to bring forth those important visions to life here on our campus as well. With that, I want to go ahead and hand it back over to our moderator, and then we will go ahead and proceed with the rest of the webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Ying. So we're going to move forward and talk a little bit about the UC Merced campus. So UC Merced is part of the University of California system. We like to say that here at UC Merced, we are building the future in the heart of California. Currently, our campus is at 9,104 students. And if you didn't know, the majority of our students here are actually undergraduate students, meaning students who are getting their bachelor's degree. So as you're looking here on this slide, some of our accolades and our rankings are listed here. And I think it is just an incredible testament to the work that we are doing here at UC Merced and the work that our scholars are doing here at UC Merced. We do have over 200 clubs and organizations. Later on in today's presentation, you'll hear more about the different API student clubs and organizations that you can be part of when you join the UC Merced family. If you would like to learn more about where UC Merced has ranked, you can scan the QR code here. But if you haven't been to the campus, it's an incredible place to be. UC Merced just completed the 2020 project. Well, not just completed, but if you haven't been to campus, this project expanded our campus with new buildings, so instructional spaces, classroom spaces, and labs. And if you decide to come to the campus, you're going to be one of the very first students utilizing some of those spaces and laboratories. A cool thing about UC Merced too is because we are in the heart of California, our location makes the campus a great place for traveling to different destinations in California. So Merced is about 2 hours away from Sacramento, San Francisco, the Bay Area, and we're not too far from Southern California as well. As I mentioned, the majority of our students here are undergraduate students. So on this slide here, you can see that 8,344 of our students are undergraduate students. And in Dr. Yang's welcome, she shared that we are an ANAPESI serving institution. As you can see here in our demographics, our population is made up of 20% Asian students. We have 3 schools here at UC Merced, the School of Social Sciences, Humanities and Arts, the School of Engineering, the School of Natural Sciences, and you can see the enrollment by school here. UC Merced is also open to students who choose to come in undeclared with our undergraduate education office. So if you're not too sure what your major is, you can come in undeclared. We also have statistics on our fall entering class. So 92% of students who entered for fall of 2022 were first-year students, and we had 8% of transfer students coming in to our campus. What's really cool about UC Merced is because the majority of our population is undergraduate students, you get the opportunity to interact more with your professors. So our student to faculty ratio is 21-1, which means that they're getting a world-class education at a University of California campus, but then also the ability to work with your professors. At UC Merced, we believe that it is important for you not to just excel inside your classrooms, but then also outside of the classrooms. And here at UC Merced, we are preparing our scholars for the future. We want our students to feel empowered to take on their academic journeys at UC Merced. There are student support services available for students, such as the Transfer, Return, and Veteran Services, FitLux, Guardian Scholars, Peer-Assisted Learning Support, Success Mentor Program, and Undocumented Student Services. These are just a few student support services that are available. We also have campus resources as well, such as counseling and psychological services, Health and Athletic Center, Campus Advocacy Care and Resources Education Center, and Student Accessibility Services. We believe that here at UC Merced, it is important that our scholars feel empowered to really take on their educational journey. These are some of the support services and resources that you can utilize here at UC Merced to ensure that you have the right support, whether if it's academically or socially. These are resources and services that you can utilize. That's just a quick highlight about UC Merced and our different support services and student population. I'm going to pass the mic over to Erica May Palea to talk a little bit more about the Office of Social Justice Initiative and Identity Programs and resources for Asian American students here at UC Merced.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Erica May Palaya. I go by she, her. I'm a 4th-year public health major and psychology minor. I am one of the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center Scholar Coordinators, and I'll be the representative for the Office of Social Justice Initiative and Identity Program. Before going into the Multicultural Center and the Asian Pacific Islander Resource Center, I'll be first talking about what the SJI and IP is and what we represent. As for our vision at the SJI and IP, our vision is for every UC Merced scholar to thrive in a multicultural global society. As for our mission, we aim to enhance the retention of historically underserved scholars and to foster an inclusive campus environment for all by providing opportunities for holistic development, intersectional community building, and student agency. In our commitment to serving UC Merced's diverse scholar community, we seek to influence university policies and practices to practice our campus as a hub for transformative leadership and social change. So our office is actually located in the library KL 167. It is open Monday through Friday and from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also have 4 other different resource centers under the SJI and IP. We have the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center. We have the Black Scholar Resource Center, which is the BSRC. We have the LGBTQ+ Resource Center, also known as the Pride Center, and the Multicultural Center. Here, I'll be going more in depth on what the Multicultural Center is and what the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center is. So this is going to be for the Multicultural Center. So it is located also in the library, right next to our office for the SJI and IP. About the MCC, I'm just going to use abbreviations because it is pretty long names. So the MCC is a space for all students to come in and hang out in between classes with their fellow peers. We have a microwave, scantrons, and green books for students. We also plan cultural events and also events for students to de-stress and take breaks from studying. The center is also open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in KL 169. Sorry. Now we have the Asian and Pacific Islander Resource Center, also known as the APIRC. The APIRC just opened up last semester, so it is fairly new. About the APRC, it is a resource center under the SJI office. We are located in Sentinel Rock 101, 101 being our conference room, and Sentinel Rock 102 being our lounge. And this is our center hours as well. It's also Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to p.m. So what do we do for the APRC? So the APRC aims to create a safe space for students and the API communities here on campus. We have many inclusive events to celebrate the Asian and Pacific Islander diaspora. And we also have the designated spaces for the API organizations to host different events. So we actually offered a lot of different resources for students and API organizations. Both students and API organizations are allowed to reserve any of the 2 rooms at the APRC. So say they want to book the conference room, they're able to like host their meetings in there. Also like the lounge is also a good space to host events. We also offer a storage unit for the organizations where they're able to store their props, costumes and equipment, and etc. We also offer testing supplies, a study hangout space, and a de-stress space. And as student coordinators, we offer resource support, direction, and referrals to the students. So here I have listed all the API organizations here at UC Merced. We've actually already collaborated with many of these organizations. So if you see an organization that you're interested in, you can definitely like message us. We'll have our Instagram linked at the end of like my section of the presentation. But yeah. Just my next slide, please. So here are the different events that we've already hosted here at the APRC. Most of them happened this semester since it just opened last semester. So the first event that we had was the APRC welcome reception. Since the center just opened up last semester, we hosted a welcome reception to celebrate the grand opening of the APRC. We welcomed API organizations and students to celebrate the day with us. We also had like API organizations table, and they also performed for the event. And then we served a lot of API cuisines, and we also served boba at our local boba shop. Our next event that we also hosted was the Holi Festival. So we were celebrating the Hindu festival of Holi. Our Bobcats painted shirts and rocks and made live art for the center, and it's actually hung up right now at the center. Our next event, so we have a couple events for like de-stressing. So an event that we hosted was Coffee and Chill. So since college is very stressful for students, we wanted to host it a day just for them where they can come to the APRC, have some coffee and just chill. We also gave free donuts to them, so that was pretty cool. And we also recently had a game night where students can go to the center and just play some games, some board games, and yeah. So since it was mentioned before, but since API Heritage Month is next month, we are hosting an event called the API Cultural Food Day next week to celebrate all of the API organizations on campus while having a variety of API food. Just like the welcome reception, we'll also have API organizations be tabling at the event, but they'll also be having activities from their cultures where students can participate and kind of learn more about their culture and but yeah, and expand their knowledge about the different API cultures here on campus. And there'll also be some performances as well from API organizations. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or comments, you can contact us for both the Multicultural Center and the Asian Pacific and Islander Resource Center. So feel free to follow us. If you have any questions about the different organizations, don't hesitate to message us or anything. We'll be happily to respond to you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Erica. And before you log off, there was a question that came in the chat. So if you're okay, I'm just going to ask the question. It's are these organizations free to join, or do they have requirements?
For what I know, I believe they are all free to join. So I know there are a lot of students who join organizations and they don't even identify as that identity. So anyone can join.
All right, thank you so much, Erica. All right, so that wraps up our session on the Multicultural Center and the Asian Pacific Islander Resource Center at UC Merced. Now we're going to move on to our student panel session. Our students will go ahead and introduce themselves first. So I'm going to go ahead and first pass the mic over to Erin.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Erin DeLeon. I'm from Fresno, California, and I'm expected to graduate spring of 2025. Right now, I'm majoring in philosophy, and I chose UC Merced because of the overwhelming sense of community I found from the Social Filipino Club on campus, PAA. Some campus involvement. I am the Vice President of Social Sciences for UC Merced PACE. I am a member of the Social Sorority Kappa Kappa Gamma and a member of UC Merced PAA. I also have 2 on-campus jobs, one with admissions and the other with the care office.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sweta. I'm currently a first year and I am majoring in business and economics. Why I chose UC Merced was because once I came here, I just love the environment. It's very nice, it's very peaceful. And some campus involvement that I'm currently in is I work for admissions as student ambassador. I'm a member of the Undocumented Scholars Academy, and I'm also a member of the social sorority Kappa Kappa Gamma.
All right, thank you so much, Sweta and Erin. So now we're going to proceed with a Q&A for our student panelists. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. And I'm just going to ask that Erin and Sweta come on screen. So if you do have any questions at this time, please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box located down at the bottom of the screen. We'll go ahead and answer these questions. Okay, there is one question, and Erica, if you're still on here, feel free to join in for the student panel as well, Erica. All right, so there's a question. Is there a tinkling group, and if so, can beginners join?
Hi. So at UC Merced PAA, which is the Filipinx American, Filipinx American Alliance, we do have a cultural branch, and through there we'll learn various cultural dances from the Philippines, and we always do tinikling. Beginners can join. I've never done any Filipino cultural dance ever, and I've done it for 2 semesters, and it's actually really fun, and it's very beginner friendly.
Next question is, what kind of things does an student ambassador do? Is it a part-time, I think this question is it a part-time position for student government?
So there is a student body government on campus. It's called ASUCM, which is very different from what student ambassador does. I feel like what ASUCM, they kind of do most of the government related activities at school, but student ambassadors, we kind of recruit high school students from nearby high schools. We also go to those high schools. We try to what's the word? We try to counsel our students into, getting their grades up, telling them how they can get into this UC. And we also host, major events like Bobcat Day that's coming up. So, yeah.
Thank you, Swetha. Next question. Do you guys have a Bhangra team?
So we do have a South Indian club. I'm not sure about Bhangra. That's more of the North Indian activities, which I'm not really part of at the moment. But as of South Indian activities, we do have South Indian Student Association. I know that they have a lot of events, a lot of activities. It's all fun. So you should definitely join that for sure.
Thank you, Swetha. The next question, I think I'm going to ask Aaron and Erica. What's an estimate percentage of how many Filipinos are there on campus? We might not be able to give you an estimate, but I think Erica and Aaron can share more about PAW and their activities with just PAW and Filipino students on campus.
I can go first. I am the vice executive for PAA this year. So around an estimate of how many, we don't know the exact estimate as she said, but I would say we have around 100 members each year. We do have different events that we do. So we host an event called Barrio Fiesta in the fall, which is basically a really big event that we have organizations perform. We also have Philam or Filipino artists come down to perform for us. We also have our mentorship program as well. It's called Compi, which is our Kuya Kuya Ate Aring mentorship program initiative, and it's basically just like a mentorship program where you're able to find a big who can mentor you throughout the year. There are also a lot of events that happen in PAA, but you can definitely just message the APRC and I can definitely answer your questions for you. And Erin, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, like Erica said, I don't think we can put an exact percentage of how many Filipinos do come to UC Merced, but as an active member in PAA, I promise you will be surrounded by so much Filipino culture and other Filipinos. It has so many different branches. There's modern, so if you like to do more hip hop or more jazzy dancing, then you can find it there in modern. We have our cultural dancing, we have choir, we have so many different branches that cover so many different interests that our general members have. So there's so many opportunities to get close to other Filipinos on campus. Sometimes you can't get away from them, but it's we're a huge family, and honestly, we all are really, really close. So I promise you're gonna feel very welcomed.
Thank you, Aaron and Erica. Next question. Are there any martial arts clubs?
Yes, there is a martial arts club here on campus. It's called Martial Arts Club. They are one of the performers that we usually and typically welcome to our Barrio Fiesta, and you'll see them perform on things. I don't know about this Bobcat Day, so don't quote me. But last Bobcat Day, they also performed. They do really, really great fun performances for everybody, and it's always very enjoyable. So I know that it's going to be a good club for you to join if you're into martial arts.
Thank you. Let's see, can you share more about your transition to UC Merced when you first started as a student here?
Okay, so as I said, I'm a first year, so I kind of just got here, but I feel like the transition was obviously very difficult because high school and college are two completely different things. When you're in college, you really have to learn how to be independent, and your first semester is definitely always going to be the hardest because that's when everything is difficult. You want to go home, you know. That's how I felt, at least. Like first semester, I always wanted to go home every 2 weeks. I couldn't handle it. I was always crying. But second semester happened, and that's when you kind of learn, like, oh, I'm an independent person. I really have to learn how to do things if I want to excel in life. And that's when, you start wanting to be on campus more, not going home all the time. So it's difficult for sure, but you will get the hang of it in no time.
Thank you, Swetha. We do have a few questions regarding, I think, just the Indian population at UC Merced. And once again, it's hard for us to give an estimate percentage, but can any of you share just kind of like the type of events that our Indian students might have, or opportunities and resources for them?
So, okay. So like I said, we have a couple of Indian clubs on campus. I only know one so far, which is the South Indian Student Association, but they do host a lot of events. They do a whole Diwali celebration, which is really fun. I think at like our student dining centers, they do have Indian food on special holidays and stuff. So that's also nice. I think that's about it. But I know for sure UC Merced is going to continue growing. So in no time, we're going to have a lot more Indian clubs.
So one thing too is that UC Merced is still a growing campus. So if there is a club or an organization that is not on campus, I think one of the really cool things about coming to UC Merced is you can actually start that club or organization yourself. So how cool is it to say that I was the founding president of this club, right? We'll go ahead and post on the chat link as well, a link to all of our clubs and organizations here at UC Merced, so you can all check it out. All right. One question. Are there any engineering programs at UC Merced?
Hi. So I did notice one of your other questions before. I believe this question came from Zeke. And I saw that you asked a question about PACE, which, like I said earlier, I am the Vice President of Social Sciences for. So something really interesting about PACE here on campus is that we have a Vice President from each school. So on UC Merced's campus, there's 3 different schools. We have the School of Natural Sciences, the School of Engineering, and the School of Social Sciences. So I'm representing the School of Social Sciences, and our current Vice President is of Engineering is Dominique Inocenio. And so like with, for example, my club PACE, Dominique has led workshops that have connected us to different PACE alumni who have like excelled in engineering and have given advice both with resumes, LinkedIn, etc. So there is professional clubs on campus that could help with your professional development in engineering. And also there is a lot of on-campus resources that will be able to help you with your classwork as well. So we do have our STEM Center, and there we will have free tutors for you to access to help you with like a lot of your upper and lower division courses with people who have passed the course and are proficient in it.
Thank you, Erin. One question that I have here for you all is, what is your favorite class that you've taken here at UC Merced?
Okay.
I can
I'm so okay, I'll make this super brief, but my favorite class right now is Econ 5. Just because the professor is so awesome. His name is Professor Harris. I think what really motivates me to enjoy that class is if you guys have ever heard of Google Classroom, we kind of have that here. It's called CAT courses. He doesn't post anything on CAT courses, so we have to go to the lectures. And that kind of motivates me to really listen and to pay attention, because if not, I will fail the exams. So that's why I really like that class. And also it's just, you just learn a lot about stocks, the economy. how to make money. Yeah.
Hi. Actually, one of my favorite courses I'm actually taking right now, it is Psych 145, which is human sexuality. It's honestly like, I don't know why, but like just learning more about like, you know, the human body and more about like sex, like how to normalize it. And also our professor in that class, he's very like he doesn't like sugarcoat anything. He really goes to the point and just like like sweat that what's it called, we have to go to the lectures because like in our lectures like he has like words that are like blank, so we have to go to class to like figure out what the words are, and it's honestly like a pretty easy class that I've taken so far.
I would say, okay, so I have two classes that I'm taking this semester that I'm really interested in, and they both cover very similar topics. These classes are Philosophy 8, Love, Sex, and Gender, and my professor is Hannah Gunn. And the other class is Philosophy 157, which is Philosophy of Love and Friendship with Professor David Jennings. Both are very interesting because they cover all different topics of love. They talk about family love, platonic love, romantic love, erotic love, and it talks about what are like the expectations that we should have when agreeing or consenting to a relationship with somebody else. And then also, like, for example, one of our topics was like, is it like morally obligatory that like parents love their children and vice versa? And it's like all of these questions that you never would have asked, and that's just accepted as cultural norms that you get to explore with your peers through like group discussions and getting to do like really cool projects like media analysis work and argument mapping. It's just really engaging and it's really, really fun. So I've been having a great time with both Professor Hannigan and Professor David Jennings.
Thank you so much, everyone. All right. Another question we have in the chat here is, are there any favorite places outside the campus to visit, like cafes or other study areas that you would recommend? And we'll go
I'm
ahead.
actually so excited. Sorry, I'm so excited to respond to this. There are so many really pretty and aesthetically pleasing cafes, and one of them just split into two. So now there's two different locations. So the first is Coffee Bandits. There, it's like a very cozy vibe where you can get some coffee, and then like across the street, there's like a donut shop, and it's like they have like open mic nights every once in a while, and it's really great for studying. And then we used to have one location of a coffee shop called ASIPS, but now we have two, which is one is right next to Rayleigh's and it's opening soon. And then we also have the ASIPS Sensory Lab, which just opened as well, and they're both, or well, the first Sensory Lab, and from what I can tell from that one when I went, they have really, really nice pastries and really, really yummy like hot chocolates and like different coffees. And they're both really amazing places that you can go to study. And they're like really nice for Instagram photos too, if that's something you're interested in.
I'm just gonna add on to Erin. There's also a crazy good burger place. It's called Pretty Good Burger. There's a record store, which is so cool. I found a Pink Floyd poster over there. There's a lot of thrift stores if that's something that you like to do. And there's also a lot of like small businesses, which it's all cool. They're all cool to look at. So definitely check that out.
All right, we have another question in the chat here. Let's see, what kind of a support services are there for undocumented students at UC Merced?
So we kind of do have a whole program for undocumented students. It's located in the library, I believe. And there also is an academy, which I am a member of. And they teach you how to build your resume, how to build your CV, your cover letter, just how to be more employable, because it's hard out there, and a lot of people don't give you that advice and information. And I'm not an undocumented student, but I have myself found it very useful. So yeah.
Thank you, Swetha. So as Swetha mentioned, we do have our services for undocumented students. That is part of the Bright Success Center. For those of you who might want to utilize resources and support for undocumented students here at UC Merced. All right, next question is, how successful are students in securing summer internships or maybe even jobs? And if you've, if you've been in an internship or you have a campus job, how did you go about that process?
So I have been able to land summer jobs and internships. I guess it really all depends on what you're looking for in these internships and summer jobs, like how frequent you want to work, if you're willing to work remote, especially, and sometimes even if you're willing to work in person. I know that that is a challenge often if you're looking at different like online sites, and then it's like, oh, in person at Merced and you're going back to San Diego, for example. So it's really important to look out at that. But UC Merced offers something just to UC Merced students called Handshake, which is an opportunity for you to see which jobs on campus and off campus are hiring and when you will be expected to work or even start, and how much you will be paid. There's also opportunities to look at different conferences and different professional development events and different internships. So if you're looking for summer specific jobs and internships, it's really easy to gain access and send in applications through the Handshake app and website.
Just to add on to Erin, there's also a lot of career fairs that happen on campus, which they're super cool to go to. You meet a lot of different people. And there's also a website called Forage, I believe, which it helps you to do more courses where like once you do those courses, you could put them on your resume, and they're with certain companies. So let's say like you want to work for Amazon, Amazon will have a course in Forage that you could do, and it'll help you build your resume and hopefully land a job or an interview. So
Thank you, Erin. And so the next question is, would a bike work if I want to go around the area to eat or buy groceries? And maybe some of you can also share a little bit about the Cat Tracks bus system that we have at UC Merced.
I would personally not recommend biking from the UC Merced campus to go get groceries. We are a little bit away from the grocery stores in the area. I believe our closest grocery store is about 2-3 miles away from campus. And I can't imagine hauling like your groceries back, but we do have something called Cat Tracks, which is a bus system for only UC Merced students. So it's really safe. You're not even allowed on without scanning your CAT card. But that bus system will take you to various bus stops around Merced. One is right next to Target, others next to Foods Co. And there you'll be able to go to different grocery stores and then come back on campus.
We are almost at the end. So actually, let's see, what advice would you give to new incoming students? Just any advice or any, just pearls of wisdom, words of wisdom that you would give to students who would be coming to UC Merced?
Yes. So I kept on saying, like, because we did a webinar last night for my office, I kept on saying keep an open mind about joining clubs and like kind of expand your horizons, because you don't know how it's gonna be here when you get here until you get here, and just like adapting to the environment. So I know, like, at least for me, I live 2 hours away from my home, or I'm from 2 hours away from Merced. So getting homesick, being homesick, it was really tough for me, at least at my first year. but joining clubs, joining other organizations, being part of departments, it really helped me like kind of get rid of the homesick and kind of realize that this is now my home away from home.
Hi. A piece of advice I would give, I think moving away from your family, it's obviously very difficult, but it's also, I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of like incoming students make is that you get kind of too excited with the sudden increase in freedoms that you get, and sometimes it might be difficult to balance or allow yourself to kind of govern yourself. So I think discipline is something really important because I mean, nobody's really gonna wake you up and tell you it's time to get ready for school or tell you that it's time to wash your laundry or it's time to do this and that. And that's something that you definitely have to like take into consideration no matter what school you go into. Is that now, like maybe if you had 5 hours when you're at home and your mom was doing your laundry, now you have 3 hours to do laundry and you have 2 hours that you have to, or 3 hours for homework and then 2 hours you have to dedicate to laundry. So like adjusting your schedule accordingly is very important. And also waking up for your morning classes is so important. Attendance is important, and that comes with the whole self-governance thing. You really have to learn how to strengthen your self-discipline.
Keep yourself busy because you can get depressed really fast. At least that's something that I was challenged with. My first semester, all I did was just go to my classes and go back to my dorm and sleep. And I got so depressed, like I didn't want to talk to anyone, I wouldn't eat. But then second semester, I got hired to work as a student ambassador. I got recruited for KKG or Kappa Kappa Gamma, and I started going to all these clubs and meeting different people. And now I am like the happiest I've ever been. So definitely keep yourself busy, keep meeting new people, and just don't go into those negative thoughts. Just think positively every day and you will be fine.
Thank you so much, everyone. Well, that concludes our student panel session. If we missed any of your questions, we'll be sure to get to those questions after the webinar. Let's go ahead and just give a round of applause to our student panelists tonight. And then with that, we're going to go back on screen and have some closing remarks from our Director of Admissions, Dustin Noji.
Thank you so much, Sheila. And I'd just like to thank our panelists and speakers tonight. Again, thank you for your insight and encouragement to our incoming students. I can remember myself starting at a University of California campus and being at one of the biggest campuses in the system, going through some of the same thoughts, going home all the time, wondering if I was at the right place. But then as I further got integrated in that community and that network that existed there, just really finding my place and my groove in the academic setting. And the University of California really presents so many different opportunities, regardless of the campus that you choose. But I really like to thank our panelists again tonight for introducing you to the University of California, Merced. At UC Merced, we have the distinction of being one of the most diverse University of California campuses in the system. And our diversity engagement series provides you with a window into some of the various communities that make up UC Merced. At UC Merced, we believe that our differences of race, ethnicity, gender, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, age, socioeconomic status, abilities, experience, and geographical region enhance our ability to achieve the university's primary mission of research, teaching, and public service. I think it's also reflective of our campus's rapid growth and rising academic rankings that we've become one of the top public research universities in the nation, and not only that, in the world. We're so excited to welcome many scholars across California and the world to our campus each and every day, and we hope you'll join our welcoming and diverse community of students, staff, and scholars. As an important reminder, next slide, please, for our admitted students, there are two very important events coming up in the near future. The first is May 1st. May 1st is the deadline for our incoming first-year students to commit to coming to UC Merced. And June 1st is the deadline to submit your SIR as a transfer student. And what better way to explore UC Merced than coming to visit in person? Next slide, please. And we'd love to host you this Saturday from 9 to 2 p.m. for Bobcat Day. Bobcat Day is our big open house for admitted students, families, prospective students to experience our campus. You can explore our classrooms, housing, labs, athletic facilities, and more. And you'll have a chance to interact with over 90 different clubs, organizations, as well as interact with our students, staff, and faculty. We'll have various student performances happening throughout the course of the day, so we hope you'll join us. You can learn more about Bobcat Day at the link posted in the chat below. If you plan to attend Bobcat Day, we've also got an app for that can allow you to explore Bobcat Day and make the most of your time. If you can't make Bobcat Day, don't worry. We offer guided tours Monday through Saturday, where you and your family can take a tour of our campus. You can book a tour by going to our Welcome Center website, which one of my colleagues will share with you in the chat. Again, on behalf of the University of California, Merced, I want to thank you for joining us for tonight's presentation, and we hope to see you on campus soon. I'll turn it back over to my colleague, Ricky, to close out the event.
Thank you so much, Dustin and Sheila and Dr. Yang tonight for your wonderful words tonight. And of course, to our fabulous student panelists, they always offer us that very special insight that we can only get from our current Bobcats. Once again, tonight has been a very special presentation. We're so grateful that you were able to join us. It is, as Dustin mentioned, it is part of the Diversity Engagement Series. This is actually the last one of those events for this particular season. If you did happen to miss some of the others, we do actually have those available for on-demand instant replay. So I can go ahead and drop that link over into the chat box. And you can take a look there. As I said, they're on demand, so you can watch any of those diversity engagement series replays or anything else that you may have missed throughout this season. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill. I am the e-recruiter here. It has been such an honor to have you here tonight. Thank you so much for letting me join you. Please have a wonderful night, and we hope to see you very soon, either online with a virtual event or in person, as recent as this coming Saturday with Bobcat Day. Go ahead and hop on over to those websites and take a look at what we have to offer for you, including a full day's agenda. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.